You're listening to the Substation Gaming Podcast. I'm Black Chestnut, and with me I have Ricola.
Yellow.
And today we're going to be talking about the Game Awards nominees, because that's fun, right?
Yeah, even if I don't really care much about the Game Awards, they're fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's the point. It's a discussion piece. It's like the Oscars. You never agree with it,
Yeah.
and that's why you talk about it and you complain about it.
If anyone actually cares about any awards show, you're crazy.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd argue that this award show might even have more credibility than the average awards show.
I don't know. They're pretty. The actual decisions of who wins are pretty goofy. Like it's pretty
Yeah,
much
but
just up to
people
Jeff
get
at the end of the day,
angry
isn't it?
about it, and that's what
Yeah.
means it gives it legitimacy.
So, at least the Oscars have the Academy, even if that has its issues.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real here. They're never getting over how they gave Last of Us Part 2 like a bajillion awards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, over Animal Crossing? Really?
I ain't forgiving you, Jeff.
Yeah. Or how Undertale was snubbed for literally everything in 2015.
It was only nominated, I think, for Best Indie that year, and
Yeah.
Rocket League won.
Yeah. It
I think
lost
Undertale was
Best
the
Indie to
last good
Rocket
edition.
League.
Because didn't that come out a month before the nominees and just suddenly blew up? They just shit, we gotta acknowledge this.
Undertale? No, Undertale came out in what, September?
Was it September?
It
It
was
was
in the
fall, so
it was late summer.
okay. I think it took a month to really blow up to it. I mean, people did know about it because people were following
I mean,
Kickstarter, but I don't think it
yes.
exploded
Yeah,
until
Undertale
say
was at
October.
its peak popularity in 2016. But the point is, it should have won Game of
Yeah.
the Year. It should have won Best Soundtrack. It
Yeah.
should have won Best Indie. It also should have won Games for Impact, because I also think it was also nominated for, but lost to Life is Strange.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty, messed up.
Games for
For
Impact
real.
is a goofy category, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, it's for the woke type games, as the gamers like to call them.
Yes.
Anyway, do you want to just start with Game of the Year?
Sure, and for once, I've played every game here except Spider-Man 2.
That's impressive. That's actually impressive. So yeah, the nominees for Game of the Year are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
It's a strong lineup, shit. These
Yeah.
are really good.
I don't necessarily disagree with any of the games being here. However, I think Spider-Man 2 probably should have gotten swapped out for something else. I'm not necessarily sure what else, but I just don't really like the idea of a licensed title being nominated for Game of the Year, It's kind of like nominating the new Marvel movie for, Film of the Year,
Spider-Man 2 is a weird case because it's original Insomniac store, a lot of it is. I don't know. It's a weird
We get a new
case.
Spider-Man game every 4 years.
Yeah.
It's before Spider-Man 2, it was Spider-Man 2 on the PS2,
Yeah. Hey, that game's really good, though.
Yeah,
Swing
all the
around.
Spider-Man games are really good. They're still not Game of the Year, though.
Yeah. I haven't. That's the one game here I have not played.
I'm just
But I
saying,
still need to
with
play
how
Miles Morales.
stacked this year could have been, right? You could have given it to one of the indies, like Pizza Tower.
Armored Core actually is a surprising one. It's not here.
I'm not too surprised that Armored Core isn't here.
I'm just surprised that Jeff resisted not
I'm just
putting a
saying, it's if it was up to me, I would have put either Lies of P or Street Fighter 6 or even Final Fantasy 16,
Yeah.
And I'm not even a fan of Final Fantasy 16.
Put on a weird one.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I feel there's not even to say that Spider-Man 2 is bad, it doesn't deserve to be here. I'm just saying it's only because it's a licensed title,
Yeah. It's Sony's big title this year. It has to be here.
I guess. I mean, at the very least, I can say it's pretty unlikely to win with how stacked the rest of the lineup is,
Yeah, that would be a shocker.
Right. And I do also feel a little bit of the same way about Resident Evil 4 because it is a remake, you know?
Yeah,
And it's
I'd
not
say that,
like
but
Resident Evil 2
like
remake where it's
it's so
drastically
good.
different and where it's like a full-on reimagining. Resident Evil 4 is still
Yeah,
a lot similar to the original.
yeah, it's more of like a remix. It's weird.
Yeah.
How much is similar? It was 4 remakes really good. I might like it more than the original, like which kind of shocked me after playing it.
Yeah. I mean, personally, if I was making this list, I'd probably swap those two out for Street Fighter 6 and Liza P, is all I'm saying.
That would
You
be
know?
nice, yeah. Yeah, Street Fighter 6 would be nice. If that doesn't win Best Fighting, I'll be kind of mad.
Yeah, I mean,
But we'll
I'm
give it a
sure
shot.
it will because it's not like there wasn't. The only other big fighting game that came out this year was Mortal Kombat, so yeah.
Mortal Kombat sells gangbusters, so
Yeah, but it's also Mortal Kombat.
yeah.
I think Street Fighter 6 was a lot better than Mortal Kombat, even if the newest Mortal
It
Kombat was not bad, you know?
yeah, but Street Fighter 6 is like Capcom's best fighting game.
Yeah. As for who out of this list, as for how I think we'll actually win, I'm probably gonna say Baldur's Gate 3 is probably gonna win.
Yeah, I'd see that as the show it for winning, like just in terms of yeah, this is a super impressive game. It's
Yeah.
kind of deserves it.
It is really interesting because to me, it's like any other year, right? You could definitely see Mario Wonder or Tears of the Kingdom winning, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're big, huge first party Nintendo games. Yeah.
Yeah. But I am happy at least that Mario Wonder did get nominated for Game of the Year because
Right, I wasn't expecting that.
it absolutely deserves it, you know?
It's good.
'Cause, yeah,
Did you finish it all the way? I beat the
this year
special
has been
world.
stacked, especially for classic like franchises, right? We got a new Zelda game, a new Mario game, a new Resident Evil game, even though it is a remake, a new Street Fighter, a new
Yeah.
Final Fantasy,
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
been wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this year, like a lot of the big games have been sequels, but they've been so good.
Yeah. I know you've been playing a lot of
Well,
Alan Wake too.
yeah, I'm not super far in it, probably only like 5 hours. Possibility of being like Silent Hill 2 level good. Like
Mm.
it's good. Like
Yeah, because I was a little
just
surprised initially when I first saw it got nominated, only for the fact that there were so many other big games,
yeah.
you know.
I think one, it's very recent, like it was just
Yeah, so
October, like
it
what
does
after
kind
Mario
of
Wonder.
feel like a lot of recency biased, you
Yeah,
know, for
there's a
it.
bit of that, but it genuinely might be the best survival horror game in like 20 years. I'm not even
Yeah,
exaggerating.
I'm just
It's
saying, I'm wondering
kind of
if Street
incredible.
Fighter 6 had swapped its release dates with like Spider-Man or Alan
Yeah,
Wake or Mario, would that be
it
nominated
probably
instead
would
of
be.
those guys? Because a lot of this list definitely feels like recency biased, you know, with
Yeah, aside
Mario,
from Resi 4,
Spider-Man,
which
and
is still
Alan
early
Wake.
this year, because that's the surprising one, Resi 4. Because that was what,
Yeah,
April?
it's not too
That's
surprising because
surprising.
it is Resident Evil 4, you know?
Yeah.
It's a remake to like one of the most beloved games of all time, so but that's again, you
Yeah, it
know,
makes sense that
it
it's
feels
here.
like it's cheating because it's a remake of one of the most beloved games of all time.
Yeah. Um,
But I can understand
yeah.
them not wanting to give two slots to Capcom, and they would picked Resident Evil 4 over Street Fighter, you know?
Yeah, because Resident Evil 4 does have a wider popularity than something
It
like
does
Street
have a
Fighter.
much broader appeal than Street Fighter.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. What are you picking for your game of the year here if you had to pick one of these?
Out of this list, the only one I played was Zelda.
Did you ever play Wonder?
I never got around. I haven't played it yet. I kind of want to, but I'm
Okay.
broke right now.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah. And I didn't finish Zelda. Of my personal game of
I
the
did not.
year, of like the games I've actually played, I'd probably pick Liza P.
I have not played Lies of P yet.
It's
That might be
really
PlayStation Plus
good.
now. I might grab that.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Yeah, I heard it's very Bloodborne-y.
Yes,
Bloodborne good.
it's like Bloodborne if it was changed to be exactly how I wanted Bloodborne to be, basically, because it's like Bloodborne, but if it was slow, like Dark Souls, instead of being fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've heard there's
Um.
parries, I believe, so best game
Yeah,
ever,
it
right?
has perfect blocks.
Nice.
It doesn't have parries. It has perfect blocks, like Sekiro.
Okay.
Yeah, Eliza
Royal
B is
Guard.
lots of fun. I'm at the final boss right now. I just haven't gotten around to killing the final boss yet. But I've played through basically the whole game. I loved every minute of it, frankly.
Awesome.
It's the only game this year that I played that I don't think I had a single critique of it.
Wow. Yeah, I
Yeah.
I
And
gotta check that
a
out.
lot of that is
Classification
just a
here.
matter of it personally clicking really well with me, where
Yeah.
with a lot of the issues that other people had, I just did not have, you know? I was like, other people were like, it's
Hmm.
too hard. I loved the difficulty. I thought it was perfect. I literally just beat the
Hmm.
penultimate boss on my first try, which apparently gave a lot of other people shit, but you know, I beat him. I didn't think it was that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved the gameplay. Another big aspect of it is that the game starts you off, like one of the starting weapons is a saber. And I've been waiting to have a Souls like where you can use a saber for like years now.
I mean, but like what? Just like a stacks or like a pirate saber?
No, like a cavalry saber.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's pretty fun.
yeah, I literally it's
Is
basically
it
the starting longsword and I've just used that through the entire game.
how RPG heavy is that actually? Is it like Souls or is it more Sekiro-esque?
It's RPG.
I,
I'd say
okay.
it's a similar level to Bloodborne, but I'd say a little bit
Okay.
more than Bloodborne.
Okay, that's fair. I wasn't sure.
The weapons don't have stat requirements, but they do have, you know, scaling and stuff. So how you build your character still does matter, but I did a quality build where I just leveled everything evenly, and I really enjoyed that. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I loved the level design. The boss fights were great for the most part. There was never like even the bosses I didn't love as much, I still didn't
It's a
dislike them.
Pinocchio game. Is there a donkey fight?
Oh yeah, you fight Mad Donkey. He's an early game
Awesome.
boss. Yeah. You get to work. You get his head, and you can then have a donkey
Sweet.
head. Yeah,
Awesome. Okay, I
yeah,
gotta play this.
yeah. So that would be
But
my
yeah, you want to move
personal.
on to our next category?
Yeah, next
But yeah,
category is best director, best game direction.
or game direction, which is I get this category, but at the same time it's silly because they nominated everything that's already got nominated for Game of the Year.
Yes, minus Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, that one is like that's half directed by Shinji Mikami, so that's cheating. We can't give that one.
Yeah. Um. Part of me wants to give this to Mario, but funny thing about the Mario's game direction was them just telling the staff to go silly with it. You know?
Just do whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. And so I kind of wanted to give it to Mario.
Yeah, possibly. Something like yeah, like Zelda or Spider-Man 2, like or even Baldur's Gate 3, like I don't know, calling that like their direction, their strength doesn't like feel right to me. So yeah, I'd probably go Mario, maybe Alan Wake 2 in terms of its sort of like
Yeah.
visual and storytelling ideas
The
are
thing
real
is, I don't think
have a
they're gonna
vision there.
give best direction and game of the year to the same game. I think they're gonna give
Oh
one
no.
to one and one to the other.
Exactly. Yeah.
The problem with the best game direction as a nominee is that, like, as a category, is that it's really hard to judge that, right? From a game's perspective, you know?
Yeah, like movies are a lot more auteur driven kind of, so like direction makes sense there as
Yeah,
like,
every movie has a director, and you can tell because he's telling everybody else what to do, you know?
Yeah.
So you can feel
So
his vision much more, which even with games that have like an auteur director that's like, actually directing the rest of the crew.
there's still a lot more that they can't do. Like a director can't, be on board
Yeah.
for like all of level design or all of like they can only sort of oversee. And then
Yeah.
like, a lot of other devs, that's kind of more the producer's role. So it's yeah, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
really everything made.
usually, yeah, it's just harder to like tell. It's like, okay, was this good because the director was doing a good job, you know? Because like
Or
I
was it
think
just
back to
lightning
like
in a
what
bottle
Last of
where
Us
some
Part
devs just had a
2,
couple.
right? Like
Yeah.
think back to Last of Us Part 2. That won best game direction, you know?
That
You
was
want
not the
to
director. Anything good in that game was not the result of Neil Druckmann.
exactly, It's like and like you're gonna tell me that Last of Us Part 2 had good direction after the horror stories that we heard from the people at Naughty Dog?
Yeah,
Absolutely
no way.
not. No. Absolutely not. No. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I'm
that's
feeling Mario on this one.
yeah, something like Zelda, like that direction's not really its strong point. That's Tears of the Kingdom's strengths was in gameplay. But we'll talk more about that when we get to another award it's nominated for.
Yeah, because there's definitely at least one award that is nominated that I feel like it should win. So yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on to best narrative, which the
This
nominees
one
are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk, Phantom of Liberty, Final Fantasy 16, and Spider-Man 2.
hmm. Uh I'm a toss up between I haven't finished Alan Wake 2, but also its writing is so good that I kind of am loving it. Or
Yeah.
giving this to Baldur's Gate 3 just because of the scale of its storytelling.
Yeah.
Just, like the narrative, like how much you can affect of that is fascinating.
Yeah, to me, this is really a matter of like a race between Alan Wake 2 and Baldur's Gate 3, right? Alan Wake 2 is
Yeah.
very story driven. Baldur's Gate 3 is also very story driven. Phantom Liberty was fine, you know.
I've heard it's
Until
very good and well written, but also I don't know, that's I
Spider-Man
don't know.
2, it's Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man. Like,
I heard that this plot wasn't even like that particularly great. Like
I mean, it's a
for
standard
the player.
Spider-Man story, It's Venom.
Yeah.
I've heard it a million times. It's like you're
Yeah.
not writing anything new here. You're just rewriting an old story again, you know?
Gosh.
Honestly, I don't think Final Fantasy 16 should win. I think the narrative was probably one of the weaker elements of that game. Entirely because of the ludonarrative dissonance of having a game where you play as a single person who's really strong, and then he says that my power is my friends.
That's pretty yeah.
It's like, what?
That makes sense. We got a party, but he's just a dude.
It's like, yeah, it's like that's the whole thing about JRPGs and how they always like go back on the power of friendship is because that's very literal, You literally have the power of friendship, and that's the reason why you're able to beat the game is from the party and the friendship and the bonds, that they made. The real level ups were the friends we made along the way.
Or Persona, which literally has bond level ups that make you more powerful.
Exactly, It's like when they do the power of friendship narrative in JRPGs, they're doing that very literally. But if you try to make a power of friendship story in a single player action game with a single main character, right? It doesn't really work.
It's a bit goofy, yeah.
Yeah. That's why, action games like Bayonetta and DMC, they have very personal stories, Right?
Yeah,
The
yeah, they're
story
very
of
about,
Bayonetta is entirely about Bayonetta. The story of
yeah, her
Devil May
like
Cry is entirely
isolation or
about
person.
this
Yeah.
very personal family drama,
Yeah, his relationship with his brother and then Nero's relationship with his father. That's the entire
Yeah.
series.
Yeah, it's all big family drama. That's the whole plot. It's very personal, you know?
Yeah.
So
It's not about their friends. I mean, they have friends, but they're not the overarching theme there because that's not what the game is about.
Yeah.
Like, or the gameplay is about.
Yeah, it's just the
Yeah.
final moments in Final Fantasy 16 where he's like, the reason why I was able to kill you, god of this world, is because I have my friends with me. And it's like, you don't even have your friends with you. They're not even in this arena.
They're figuratively there. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that probably does hit. Like I haven't played all of 16, but that probably does hit. But at the same time,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, it probably has strong world building, but at the same time, isn't its plot kind of just standard Final Fantasy fare, aside from the
It's
world building?
standard Final Fantasy fare. And it's not to say that it's like terrible or anything, or that there's
Oh,
nothing good
no.
in it. It's just that I feel like overall it runs into these issues, because it wants to
Mm,
have the JRPG power of friendship story, but then it also wants to be, the DMC action game.
yeah,
The Gaming
I don't
Brit
know.
did a big video about this. It's really good. I recommend that.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
But
feeling Baldur's Gate 3 for this one.
yeah, probably. Although Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win Game of the Year, probably. So
Yeah. I mean, if Alan Wake 2 wins Best Narrative, I wouldn't be upset by
yeah,
it.
that would make sense.
If
Yeah,
Spider-Man 2 wins, though, I'll be upset.
if that wins, it might be a little mad. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
It's like, come on.
72's badly written. It's just like, come on.
Yeah,
Come
it's
on. We've seen
literally
this same
just
Spider-Man
the
plot eight
Venom
times.
symbiote suit storyline again. And it's not even like the
And
best
also
version
Kraven's
of it,
there.
you know?
Oh, yeah. That's
It's like,
spectacular Spider-Man.
yeah, exactly. Spectacular Spider-Man was so good, man.
Oh, this particular Spider-Man showrunner is writing a comic run. He's about to start writing one, so
Oh, that's
excited
awesome.
for that.
hmm Anyway, yep, that's
So it'll be
best
better than
narrative.
regulars.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's move
Next,
on.
best art direction.
Best art direction. Yes. So the nominees for best art direction are Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Liza P, Mario Bros. Wonder, and Tears of the Kingdom. Alan
All
Wake 2 is
strong
getting
nominees.
nominated for everything.
It's a fucking good game. Thanks to some slight recency bias.
Yeah. Honestly, now, to be
It's
fair, I think all of these games have great art direction. I really do.
I think the one I would cut would be Zelda if I had to cut one of these for best art direction, honestly.
I still think it has really great art direction.
It looks really good, but at the same time,
It
it's
is
a bit limited one by the Switch. It's like you do get a lot of moments where it's like you get some popping and like
anyway.
uh,
I don't know. I feel like Hi-Fi Rush takes it because the
yeah,
universe they made is it's just so fun. I really like it. At the same time, Mario Bros. Wonder also had amazing art direction.
yeah.
So for me, it's probably between those two, either Hi-Fi Rush or Mario Bros. And I think Mario Bros is gonna win.
You think?
It's definitely worth
Yeah,
remembering. The reason why Mario Bros. Wonder is as big of a deal as it is entirely because of its art direction. It's
yeah.
entirely
It has an
because
art
it's the
style.
first new 2D Mario game, right? That actually has a actual art style, sense, world that isn't just a
The original
generic
Super Mario Bros. When
Mario.
it came out was probably kind of novel. Like, oh, we can play a game that kind of like looks like like Mario renders and stuff. But after it very quickly that
Yeah,
faded.
yeah. It's just like Mario Bros. Wonder. A huge aspect of it is the visuals.
Yeah, yeah. There's just so much personality in just kind of the animation alone.
Yeah. Liza P art direction was good, but it's also kind of too realistic in my book to really trump the creativity on display from Hi-Fi Rush and Wonder.
Yeah. Alan Wake 2, I don't the use of Keller in that is kind of unlike anything I've seen, so I have a bit of a leaning towards that. A Hi-Fi Rush might just top it out in terms of just how expressive it is.
Yeah. I mean, like, you gotta remember, they animated the background to the music,
That's awesome, yeah.
right? It's like, you know, if that isn't good art direction, I don't know what is.
Yeah. So did Mario Wonder. That had dancing things.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, Hi-Fi Rush's art direction was
Hi-Fi
just
Rush deserves some sort of award,
amazing.
so hopefully it gets this.
I mean, I feel if it doesn't win this, I think it still is gonna win like sound design.
Yeah, just because of the way, like, yeah,
If it doesn't win
the
sound
rhythm
design,
stuff.
that's
That's the way to put it.
that's a travesty, frankly.
That is like, yeah, what are you thinking?
Yeah. So, want to move on from art direction?
Sure.
Okay. Next category is best score in music, and the nominees
Uh,
are like Alan Wake. That's the next one, right?
yes, story music.
Okay. So the nominees are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, and Tears of the Kingdom. And honestly, I really don't think Tears of the Kingdom should have been nominated for best score.
I like the score more than Breath of the Wild. There's a bit more variety in like instrumentation. Like boss themes in Tears of the Kingdom are really good, but
Yeah, but I don't know. It's still,
I don't
I
think it's
mean, like
amazing.
older
Yeah.
Zelda games, I'd agree, but with the Breath of the Wild, where it barely has music
It's
90% of the time. eh,
it's a good score for the game it is, but I mean Pizza Tower was also this year. That could have stole the spot.
Yeah, it's like Pizza Tower got fucking snubbed hard. That also should have been in best art direction. Pizza Tower, like what the fuck?
Oh,
Honestly, Pizza Tower got snubbed really hard because it should have been nominated for at least like 5 more categories than it did. You know,
Jeff doesn't respect it enough.
yeah, it's not industry enough. It's too indie,
I'm a toss up here between Hi-Fi Rush because
obviously.
soundtrack's great, lots of 2000s butt rock.
Yeah,
But
it's got.
16, Soken composed that while going through chemotherapy, so that deserves something.
I mean, the 16 score is amazing. If 16 wins, I wouldn't be mad, frankly.
I will, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
But at the same time, I also do kind of feel like Hi-Fi Rush absolutely deserves it still because it's a
Yeah,
music-based rhythm game, and it did.
yeah,
And it's. I think it was like the perfect use of licensed tracks, where it still
mm,
has a ton of original tracks, but you get those licensed tracks in for the boss fights. Mm, it's really good.
yeah.
Um, Frankly, some of the best use of licensed music in a video game I've ever seen.
It was good. It's Jet Set Radio has a lot of good licensed music. Think about that.
Yeah,
It reminds me, Jet Set Radio. It's like Funk didn't get nominated for anything.
yeah. It also
Excuse
didn't.
me.
That also got fucking snubbed.
Yeah.
That should have been nominated
Don't
for
think
best music. Oh my god, is Alan Wake's 2's music good?
it's score. It's like half licensed music. A lot of it, like Hi-Fi Rush.
I
That's the
don't
thing.
know. Look, I'm just saying, for best score, we're talking about video game music here. It shouldn't go to
Yeah,
like
I know.
movie score bullshit or like ambient track bullshit. It should go to the bangers. Okay? Get Bomb Rush Cyberfunk up in here. Get Pizza Tower in here. Where are the bangers? Right? Honestly, the only ones I see I actually agree with here are Final Fantasy 16 and Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Baldur's Gate 3 soundtrack was good, but at the same time, I don't
The
know.
only song I remember is the main theme, which is a
Yeah.
banger. It's got like your big orchestral fantasy greatness that's actually memorable,
Yeah.
because it's easy to kind of fall into genericness of orchestral scores, but they pull it off.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's like you should have more than one good song on your soundtrack to get nominated for best score.
Yeah,
It's like You gotta
No,
have more than an awesome main theme, you know?
for 100+ hour game, having a theme that's a soundtrack that's not annoying is an achievement.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hi-Fi Rush or Final Fantasy 16 deserve this. Maybe
Yeah.
leaning towards Hi-Fi Rush.
I mean, if Bomb Rush Cyberpunk was on this list, I'd probably give it to that because, oh my god, that soundtrack is so fucking good.
You haven't played it much. Well, actually, I haven't played it all, but all I know is that they sampled Despicable Me for one of the tracks, so that deserves an award.
Oh my god, it's a banger. Yeah, it's just. Yeah, I think I'll give it to Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah. Anyway, next category. Best audio design. Now, the
Yeah,
nominees
Hi-Fi Rush.
are Alan Wake, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2, and Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, it's Hi-Fi Rush.
It's Hi-Fi Rush. Like, if anything else wins, frankly, what's wrong with you?
No, okay. Resident Evil 4 has great sound design, but because it's Resident
Yeah,
Evil 4. Dead
it.
Space has great sound design. I've only played the original.
Yeah,
And Alan Wake's 2 sound design was making me feel slightly sick because of like the way the enemies whisper and stuff, which is great. But
yeah,
Hi-Fi Rush, come on.
yeah. It's not to say that the other games don't have good audio design, but Hi-Fi
Yeah.
Rush is a game built around its audio design.
Yeah, that's the
It's
whole
like,
point.
yeah, it's like,
You're playing to the beat.
yeah. The entire world is animated to the music. The sound effects play in time with the soundtrack.
It's awesome. I still need to play it. It's
Yeah,
fun.
it's just awesome. Like, and it's the only
Tango,
correct
isn't it? I
option.
think it works, yeah.
Yeah, it's the only Hi-Fi Rush is the only correct option here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next category, best performance.
It's also these are all also really strong performances.
Yes, honestly, they
But
are. Do you want to read off the ones since I did the last 8?
sure. We got Ben Starr for Final Fantasy 16. He's Clive, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, he's Clive.
Yeah. Cameron Monaghan for Jedi Survivor. He's main Jedi guy
Yeah,
that
he's the
you
main
play
character
as in the
guy.
Star Wars video game. He's good. Idris Elba, it's Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
know who
pretty
he
sure
plays, but he's Idris Elba, so he's
he's
probably
playing
great.
himself, I'm pretty sure.
Just like Keanu Reeves did.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, we got Milady LeBird for Alan Wake 2. She's main protagonist aside from Alan Wake. She's good.
Mm-hmm.
Neil Newbon in Baldur's Gate 3's Asterion. He's your
Yep.
vampire rogue guy, so he's great.
Yes.
And Yuri Lowenthal, the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's Spider-Man.
For me, I think I gotta give it to Baldur's Gate 3 on this one.
Astarion's pretty great.
It's just too
He's
good.
very funny.
With
I'm still early in Alan Wake, so I can't even tell how good like Blaney Libert's performance is because she hasn't really had much time to flex any of that.
yeah. Yeah, for
So
me
I'll have to see.
it's definitely Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, I also considering probably how much performance it is. That's probably what like dozens of hours of just voice acting and motion cap in there. It's like insane. I assume.
Yeah. It was just such a fantastic. This is like the first time where I've actually given a shit about this category, frankly.
These are all really good performances. Yeah, like all of these are for once like really great nominees. I'm like interested, like who's gonna win this? I don't know.
Yeah, I this is unironically like the very first time where I've actually looked at this category and not thought, why the fuck is this here? You
Yeah,
know?
these are all really good performances. Like all of these choices.
Yeah. Yeah. But
I mean, actually, I don't know
I'd
how
say
good
yeah.
Jedi Survivor he is a new one. But I played the first Jedi Survivor. He's good in that.
Yeah, so I'd imagine
He's
he's
a
good in the
protagonist
sequel
man, but
too.
he's good. He's charismatic. He's
Yeah.
likable.
But yeah, I'm gonna give it to Baldur's Gate 3 on this one.
He probably deserves it.
Yep. Anyway, moving on to the next category, we got innovation and accessibility, right? And so
Yes.
nominees are like Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter 6.
I gotta give this to Street Fighter 6 because there was a blind person at Evo that was playing at a high level
Well,
with
that
just
convinced me.
yeah, and he had put on a blindfold to prove it. Just because it plays like dings just to tell like when they're using like doing overheads and stuff. Like that's the accessibility like stuff is just crazy. So yeah, that
Yeah.
deserves it. If a
It's
blind person can
yeah.
play at Evo,
It's always hard for me to like make any judgments on this category because it's like, well, I don't use any of those accessibility features, so I don't know how good they are, you know?
yeah, I'm not disabled. I can't make a judgment on this.
Yeah, so
But
I'll take your word for it and I'll say Street Fighter 6. Um,
yeah, that really impressed me, so I'm gonna give it to that.
okay,
All right.
next category. Games for impact. These are the woke type games.
They are. It's one of the stranger um the categories just because it's like kind of blatant what it is.
Yeah. So the nominees are A Space for the Unbound, Chance of Senyar. Is that how you pronounce it?
Sonar, I don't know.
Senyar.
Sure.
Goodbye Volcano High, Ticha. I'm not sure how that's pronounced
Chia.
because
I think it's just Chia.
Chia. Okay. Terra Nil and Venba.
I've
So
only played Chia and
was
not
it
much of
good?
Chia. I played a few minutes of it. It's good. It's kind of like Mario Odyssey with but like more open world. It's good.
So it's Mario Odyssey breeds Breath of the Wild because that's what I remember thinking it was
Yeah,
when
you do have
watching
a
the
hang
trailers
glider.
for it.
If you have a hang glider and you could like possess stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm not too
So
familiar
like
with most of these games. However, I absolutely want Goodbye Volcano High to win because it would be so funny.
all I know about the Goodbye Volcano High is some of my mutuals on Twitter were making fun of it because wasn't it supposed to come out like ages ago or something?
It was. It got delayed a lot. 4chan made a fan game of it before the actual
Yeah.
release of the actual game came out.
Yeah. So it would be very funny if that wins.
It would be very funny. I do remember that merch of it was being sold before the game came out.
Um,
um, but I think that was probably more in line of the original release date, you know, sort of thing.
yeah, they were like, "Oh, it's coming out soon." Well, yeah, we'll just put the merch up early. You can have it while you're playing the game.
Exactly. I think Vemba is like a cooking game, like a cooking mama type
Ooh,
game, you know?
yeah.
I know that's
Well, what do you
also
give this
nominated
award
for
to?
best debut
Like
indie.
competition here of who wins games for impact. Like, what game's the most progressive? Like, what kind of award is that?
Um,
I mean, I appreciate it, but at the same time, it's just
it is a weird word because it's like, okay, are you basing it how good the game is while also being progressive, or are you basing it on just how progressive it is? You know, because I'm
yeah.
pretty sure Celeste won this award the one year.
And Celeste should have been like game of the year running, but
It might have been nominated for Game of the Year. It might have been the Indie Darling that year. I don't remember
I think
because
I can't remember.
a lot of times they do usually have an Indie Darling, and the only reason why they didn't do it this year is because this year was stacked. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get why, but
but to be fair, what should have been the Indie Darling this year was Pizza Tower, and that didn't even get nominated for Best Indie. We'll
yeah,
get
this
to
best
that.
debut indie. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh, we'll get to that.
But as for games for impact, I've only played Chia and not much of it.
I haven't played any of them, so I'm voting for Goodbye Volcano High because it would be funny.
I might just because it would be the funniest if it won.
Yeah. This is why I have to vote for Goodbye Volcano High. For the funniness of it all.
But now it's the other goofiest award.
Best
It's
ongoing
ongoing.
game.
Got Apex Legends, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy 14, Knights, and Genshin Impact. This is the worst award consistently.
Okay. Is Genshin Impact gonna win? That's the real question.
Yes, but
Cyberpunk might win because it got a lot of updates and it got a big DLC
it got its expansion and a bunch of updates to make it actually a really great RPG. Apparently, like,
yeah,
which is hilarious. Like
it
how
got its
you know,
1.0 patch released.
apparently they entirely reworked how the skill system works, even
Yeah,
just from the ground up. So
yeah. But
super
Fortnite
funny skins in
added
Fortnite had.
Optimus
Trying to think.
Prime.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, Fortnite added Alan Wake if you buy Alan Wake 2 on Epic Games Store, so that deserves it because that's the funniest skin they've ever added.
yeah.
So I'm giving my vote to Fortnite.
I'm gonna vote for Genshin Impact.
That every year, and why?
Is this the first year that Final Fantasy 14 is not gonna win?
Ooh, it might be. It probably got an expansion. Well, I don't think it got like a big scale expansion, but it probably got some updates.
Eh, I didn't hear nothing
But it's
about
the
it.
first. Yeah, I know. Well, Final Fantasy 14, I'm always hearing about it. It's always, but it's kind of like white noise
Yeah.
because I don't play the game, so it's like, I just hear
I
about it and
totally
it's there.
understand why this category exists. It's like, but these
Oh,
live
yeah.
service type games that last for
They
10,000
give it to the
years.
same game every year, the
Okay,
same
what do they give it to
nominations.
every year then? What's the game
Well,
that it got it
they
over the last 5
they
years?
always nominate Final Fantasy 14 and Genshin every
Well, of course they
freaking year.
do, because they're the live service type games. There's only like 10 of them in
I know.
existence.
Yeah, I know, and it's better than giving it to like League of Legends, but
Yeah. They can't give it to TF2, it's not getting support.
I know, but its community support's the best. Like we just got a
Yeah.
whole new game mode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But Genshin had a whole new game mode made by the community.
I think they added like a concert or something. Maybe that was a few years
Oh,
back.
we don't talk about the do not look up the English dub of the rap at the concert. Have you listened to that ever?
Oh,
Do not.
I have. Well, anyway, the picture on here has Venti on it. So I'm going in Genshin Impact.
Okay. Just because of the twink.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to best community support.
Yes. Best community
So we got
support. Baldur's
Baldur's
Gate
Gate
3.
3 for the nude mods. That's the community support, I assume, that they're talking about,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Cyberpunk
Oh, wait, you don't even need
2077.
mods for Baldur's Gate 3. I just realized, I forgot, everyone just has a fully rendered junk.
Yeah.
Never mind.
It's in the game.
Sure, they're not. Yeah,
EA's dick.
they were just that.
It's in your ass.
They're kind of really good the first time I heard that.
It's so funny.
But Cyberpunk, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Okay. My vote is for Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, me too. I'm voting for Team Fortress 2.
Next.
Okay, next. Best independent game. Okay,
Best
now we're
indie.
on to best indie, so the shit that actually matters.
Yeah.
Okay, nominated for best indie are Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder. Well, none
Dave
of
the
these are
Diver should
bad
not be here.
games, but Dave the Diver should not be here.
Dredge, Sea and Stars, and Viewfinder are cool. I don't not much about Cocoon aside from the initial trailer I saw.
I heard it was really good.
Okay, but Dredge, Sea and Stars, and Viewfinder, I get all those. Dave the Diver should not be here. That's not indie by any stretch of the word. It's multi-billion-dollar dev.
Yeah. Yeah, they just made a cheap game with a low budget and then marketed it as an indie game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like...
And
it's especially egregious
it's
since there's so many great indie games that came out this year that absolutely deserve that spot more. just on their own, like Pizza Tower. Like, even if Dave the Diver
Yeah,
was a real indie game, I still wouldn't put it over Pizza Tower or Bomb Rush
yeah,
Cyberpunk, you know?
yeah. I was surprised to not see Bomb Rush anywhere.
It's
That
honestly,
just shocked me.
I'm not so sure if I necessarily say Viewfinder should be here. Uh, you know?
Its
'Cause
gameplay is really cool. I know everyone was,
it's
you know,
cool, but to me,
taking
it
on its
feels
terrible
like
writing.
Portal in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
It's like, yes, this is cool, this is good, but it's like I don't know. I think Cyberpunk is better.
yeah. And Superliminal just came out a couple of years ago, and it became the definitive Portal successor anyway. So,
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like it's because it has both Cocoon and Viewfinder, both of which are like, puzzle adventure games. And it's
yeah,
like and they're very and they're a bit similar in that they're high
yeah,
concept, puzzle games
yeah. I see what you mean.
where it's like
Yeah, they could have really picked one or the other.
and then there's also no Pizza Tower or Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. And honestly, at least for Best Debut Indie, which we'll get to in a second, I think that
Mm.
Pseudo Regalia should have been nominated, frankly, because that game's
Which one
amazing.
is Pseudo Regalia? Is
That's the
that
game with the
the?
bunny girl.
Okay, yeah, that game. Yeah,
Yeah, it's the 3D Metroidvania, which is very
yeah,
unique and was very good.
yeah. I gotta get around to that. It's only $6. Yeah, I gotta buy
Yeah, it's very
that.
cheap. It's really good. Suika Game
Best
wasn't
Indies
nominated for
also.
anything.
Yeah. Which game?
Suika
Were you saying
Game.
wasn't nominated for anything?
Suika Game wasn't nominated for anything.
Huh.
Have
Oh,
you have you, have you
wait.
played Suika Game? Have you seen it?
I don't think I have. I don't know if I have.
It's it's a falling block puzzle game, right? Like
Which
Tetris and Puyo Puyo that blew
game? I
up.
think I know what you're talking about.
It's got the watermelon with the face on it.
Yeah, I've
Suika
seen that
meets
around. Yeah,
watermelon. Yeah, it's
I
really
didn't know anything
fun.
about it. I've seen it around.
Yeah.
I keep seeing clips of VTubers playing it.
Yes, it's lots of VTubers are playing it.
I don't even watch VTubers and they keep showing up.
Yeah. You have fruits of the same type collide and then they transform into a single of a bigger fruit.
Oh, big fruits.
Yeah, and you're trying to condense down the jar, and once the jar overflows, you lose, and it's high score based. It's fun. It's
Okay.
lots of fun. It's a fun puzzle game. Honestly, of all the falling block puzzle games, it's probably my third favorite one ever.
Have you played Tetris Effect?
I mean, like, I would count Tetris
Just
Effect
curious.
as
Yeah, it's
Tetris.
Tetris. I get what you
It's the
mean, but
same
have you
thing.
played
All Tetris games are the same game.
Tetris?
I don't
No, that game
count,
transcends.
you know, I don't count each Tetris game individually. That's cheating.
I know.
I count all Puyo Puyo games as the same game. I count all Tetris games as the same game. You know,
All Columns games on the Sega Genesis.
yeah. Of these games that were nominated, though, I guess I'd give it to Sea of Stars, even though I haven't gotten around to playing it yet. I still plan on playing it, though.
Dredge is the only one I own because I bought it on a sale and didn't play it because that is the curse of Steam sales.
Yeah, I heard Dredge was good. I mean, there's the thing. It's like I know all these games are good, but I also know there was a bunch
Yeah,
of other games that I kind of feel are better that didn't get
yeah,
nominated. That's kind of that's how I'm feeling. I don't necessarily disagree with these games getting nominated, but I'm
except Dave the Diver.
disappointed.
Dave
Except
the
Dave the
Diver actually
Diver.
looks like a really good. It's like a really fun, good game. I've heard it's great, but
Yeah, I'm
not
sure
in
it's
this
a
category.
good game, but I don't think it deserves to
To a
be
different category.
nominated.
Jeez, Jeff.
Yeah.
Come on.
The worst
But let's
part
get to the
is,
best game.
I'm
Yeah,
very confident Dave the Diver will probably actually win.
it might.
I think
That would be
I could see Cocoon winning, right?
maybe.
I could see Sea of Stars winning. I could even see maybe Dredge winning. But I think it's going to be Dave the Diver. and that's gonna be
Kinda
the
weird.
worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um.
It's my
Yeah.
best debut.
Yeah. They're going on the best debut. List is the same, except no Sea of Stars, no Dave the Diver. Instead, we got Pizza Tower and Venba.
Pizza Tower
Obviously,
deserves it.
Pizza Tower deserves it. It was literally, of all the indie games that came out this year, it was by far the most discussed one. It was the most talked about, most played.
Oh, I thought you were saying the most disgusting one, and I was like, hell yeah, it is.
I mean, that's also true. Um, Pizza Tower also should have been nominated for Best Art Direction, frankly.
It's really, yeah, it just captures like the sort of 90s cartoon aesthetic is just
And
kind
it
of incredible.
also definitely should have been nominated for Best Score.
Part of me wishes it got nominated for Game of the Year just so we'd hear a rendition of the
Me
Time's
too.
Up music.
100%. I'm
It
I'm
would work
honestly a
as
little
well.
disappointed it didn't get nominated for Game of the Year. I would have
I like
definitely
it.
rather had Pizza Tower than Spider-Man. Because now we're just gonna have lame ass Spider-Man music instead of awesome Pizza Time music.
I know. Just
Instead,
imagine
we're gonna have Spider-Man Pizza Time instead of Pizza Tower Pizza Time. Ah,
if you play Pizza Time for Spider-Man 2 and the PS2,
yeah,
then they're forgiven for
yeah,
everything.
Pizza Time.
You know, that's actually the best part of the Game Awards overall is that little medley they do of all the
Oh
main
yeah, by
games.
far.
And then it goes into the Game Awards theme, like it's awesome.
Yeah. Um, I think Akuna's gonna win this one.
You think?
Yeah, it's not gonna be
I'll
win.
put up
They're not gonna
Star.
not. Pizza Tower's not gonna win at all because Dredge, Cocoon, and Viewfinder were also nominated for Best Indie, but Pizza Tower wasn't.
Oh,
So Pizza Tower's not gonna
mm,
win. You know.
come on, Pizza Tower. People will storm the stage if Pizza Tower loses. It's gonna be chaos.
Yeah. I mean, last year was also kind of a clusterfuck for Best Indie because Stray won. And honestly, I don't. Even though Stray was talked about a lot, I don't think it deserved to win Best Indie. Frankly,
From what I played, I really enjoyed it, but I don't know. Was there some better nominations last year? I can't remember what else was nominated last year.
I can't remember what nominated last year, but I'm sure there was something better.
Yeah.
Maybe there wasn't.
Yeah,
Maybe last year was just that bad for indie games. I don't remember.
maybe it was a slow year. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Anyway, Pizza Tower deserves this, but it's not gonna win because life's not fair.
Yep.
I guess.
Let's go to best mobile game. We got Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, A Honky Star Rail, Monster Hunter Now, and Terranil.
Okay, so Hello Kitty Island Adventure absolutely
South
deserves the
Park
win.
joke. It became
South
real.
Park joke, you know? It's like but you're on your computer all day. Yeah, but I'm playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure, not World of Warcraft.
Isn't Ever Crisis just a remake of Final Fantasy VII? Just
I think
is that the one
so.
that's remake, or is it a different app they were making? Because they were like, all right, fine, I'll make a faithful remake with AAA graphics on your phone.
You
Take
know,
it.
with how many remakes we get, do you think they should have a category for best remake?
Remake or remaster one, that would be nice to have actually. We get a
Yeah.
lot. I think remake and remaster should probably be separate.
You could definitely make
Because
the
some people
argument that
say
they should be separate. But at the same time, it's like, how many remakes on average do we get per year? You know?
maybe this year we got Dead Space, Resi 4. What else is this year? That are straight up remake. We get a lot of straight up remakes. they
We
happen,
do.
but
But we also get a crap ton of remasters. And with how often the two get the lines blurred,
yeah,
I could definitely make the argument that it's like you could put them together,
yeah.
in the
But
same
then it would be like stuff
category.
like
Because they
Night
do that for
Dive.
like sports and racing games are in the same category,
Yeah, yeah. Although it's a bit rarer with stuff like sports and racing games where you get really great ones that stand out, that aren't already
Yeah.
part of the series.
I mean,
But,
granted, I don't know. I think they're similar enough ideas that you could have this one category for them.
I'd like Best Remaster because I'd like stuff like, say, like Quake 2 Remaster to get recognition when I don't think that would ever get nominated if it was merged with, like, also remakes.
Yeah.
Like really good remasters that just do everything right, like Night Dive does. They
Yeah.
just take some 90s game that's a pain in the ass to play and make it amazing.
Yeah. I mean, and it's another thing. It's like a lot of times remakes are kind of booty cheeks, so maybe we shouldn't give them awards.
Oh, it was the System Shock remake this year. I heard that was really great, and that everyone forgot about it kind of fast because it was such a packed year.
Yeah. Like
But
the
yeah,
Metroid Prime remaster that came out this year.
oh yeah, there was that. That was amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
for
I mean, like,
50
okay,
there.
like this year, right? We got Resi 4, Dead Space, Prime Remaster. What else did we get this
Uh,
year? Did Alan Wake
yeah,
Remaster come out
no, that was I think
last
early
year?
last year.
Oh, last
Yeah.
year, okay.
But we got Quake 2 remastered and
Mm-hmm.
Night Dive also worked on Rise of the Triad remastered, which are both really good remasters. They like just cleaned those up really well.
Yeah.
So I think we've probably got plenty others I'm forgetting.
Yeah.
But
It's
what's the best
hypothetical.
mobile
Hello Kitty Island
game?
Adventures. It's the only one that has
Okay.
cinnamon in it, so there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next category.
Yeah, he's a puppy that looks like a bunny.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah. Next
Best
category,
VR.
best VR/AR game.
We got Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Call of the Mountain, which I did not know that existed.
I forgot about that.
Humanity, Resi Evil Village VR mode, and Synapse. Okay, now Resi Village is probably the best one here, but
Yeah.
Synapse's trailer looked really cool.
Uh I can't really say because I don't have VR, so you can just vote for me.
I can't play any of these because they're all like PlayStation VR.
I know,
I only
right?
own a
It's like,
Quest 2.
man, fucking exclusives for something that nobody fucking owns.
I know.
VR exclusives do suck just because it's extra proprietary shit on top of, you
No.
know, yeah, it's like
It was okay on PC when it was stuff that was exclusives because you can just use like a link cable and just, use whatever the headset you want on anything.
yeah.
You just, know what you're doing. But PlayStation VR, them pushing that again, like, fuck off, Sony. No one can afford that. I don't got PlayStation Move controllers lying around.
Yeah. I just feel like VR is something that feels more suited to like an arcade setting, you know?
I I would like agree, like, because like I think Super Hot is like the best way to introduce people to VR when they're done. But I have had some like more like longer games. Like I really loved playing Myst in VR because that was like just immersive explore, just slowly do puzzles. That was great in VR. I love that.
Mm,
But I think the issue right now is just price because Quest
yeah.
2 when Facebook decided to sell that at a loss, it was like
Mm-hmm.
only like what, $200 to $300. It was super cheap compared to other headsets. And that was like, oh, VR is like suddenly really accessible out of nowhere. And now we're kind of back to everything being like $600. So
Yeah.
yeah, they need to just start going cheaper again if they want anyone to give a shit about it.
Oh yeah. Anyway, do you want to just move on? Next category?
Yeah,
Next
best
category.
action game.
Best action game. Right? So we got Armored Core, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2. Now, right off the bat, right? Um, don't not sure if I'd count Armored Core as an action game. That's closer to I mean, it's a mech game, but even then, it's still closer to a shooter. Dead Island
It's
2 is
action.
also, well, I guess it has a lot of melee combat. And Remnant 2 is
Yeah.
just straight up a shooter. So,
Yeah.
right off the bat, half of these are shooters, not action games.
Do we even have a best shooter? Is that even a thing?
It should be. Do you know how many fucking
I
shooters come out
know.
each year? Like, holy shit, that's like the
Oh,
most
we could probably
oversaturated
do
genre
best
ever.
third-person shooter and best first-person shooter. It had to be separate awards.
Yeah. It's like, I don't think there is a best shooter category, and frankly, that's really stupid. Especially since they have best action game and then best action adventure. It's like, okay,
Best
it's a
action
little
adventure is the dumbest
redundant.
category ever.
Yeah.
It's always been the worst thing,
The
worst like
issue
genre name ever.
with here's the issue with their genre thing is that they don't actually follow the actual genres by the book, right? They use the vague, nebulous bullshit versions of the genres, but then they don't even cover all the genres properly. They're like action game, action adventure, racing game, and it's like okay,
We don't
and
even
fighting
have a best
game.
horror game. We don't have. That's not a category. That's fucking shocking.
I can
Like,
understand not doing literally every genre under the sun
of
because
course. Yeah.
it's like how often is there like 5 good games in each
Yeah, like,
given
did we get
genre?
5 good RTS games this year? Probably
No.
not.
Although, to be fair, does get covered in like strategy.
Okay, yeah, but
So yeah, it's like if you're doing the more vague. That's the thing. It's like when they say best action, they just mean any game that has combat in it, that has
which
real
is
time combat.
every
Which it's like that's covering both melee combat and shooters, right? So
Mhm.
what's the difference? So a game like Toho could be nominated in a game with like Hi-Fi Rush in the same category, you know?
It's nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's Toho in these awards? They need to start nominating those. This one
Yeah.
deserves it. Toho 19 was fun.
As for this one, I think they might actually give it to Armored Core.
I was surprised this hasn't been nominated for more stuff, so I think this is the arbitrary. We got to give Armored Core something.
Yeah. I don't see it being Dead Island 2. I'd be
Dead
pretty
Island 2 was
surprised if it
shockingly good for a
wins.
game that took like 10 years to come out.
Yeah.
Like, I heard it was a really solid shooter. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just such a.
I mean,
It's one
I'd
of
be
those
okay with like Hi-Fi Rush or Ghost Runner 2 winning. I heard Remnant 2 was also really good, so
Chill Remnant 2. That name sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
it's the Dark Souls third-person co-op shooter.
Okay, I've probably seen gameplay of this, but
I mean, do you
yeah.
remember Remnant 1?
Nope.
It was the co-op Souls-like shooter. Even though
I'm looking up
I'm pretty sure it
screenshot.
wasn't actually a Souls-like. It was
Okay.
actually a roguelike or something, I think. I don't remember.
Let's go to the goofiest category next, though. The
Yes.
most ill-defined one possible.
Best action adventure. You know what? I would agree with most of these are action adventure. Right? I would classify Spider-Man 2 as probably as action adventure. Zelda is objectively action adventure.
What's the action
And
adventure blueprint?
the action adventure blueprint is Zelda.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Ocarina of
and
Time is
Star
the
Wars Jedi Survivor, I'd say, is action adventure. Yeah,
yeah, it's very Dark Soulsy kind of just its structure.
it's not an RPG,
Yeah, it's not.
but
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 and
That's
Alan
still
Wake 2, those are horror games. They're survival horror, third-person shooter,
yeah,
games.
but the gameplay
Those
is
are not
built
action
around
adventure.
exploration and action.
Yes, it does have action, exploration, and puzzle solving because survival horror usually has some adventure elements. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't call them action games. Although I guess Resident Evil 4,
Resident 4 is an action game.
it's pretty action oriented. The
Yeah.
action is still
Alan
shooting,
Wake
so
1
it's
was
still a
totally
shooter and not an
action
action game. Because if it's action, that means
Exactly.
it's melee combat. Shooters are for range combat.
uh, on
Eh.
Spider-Man, you can shoot webs.
Anyway, Zelda deserves to win this.
Sure. Yeah, give it to Zelda. Or if Zelda wins something else, give it to Star Wars because that's
In
not
terms
going to do
of
anything.
this specifically action adventure, right? Zelda had the best adventuring. It had amazing action. It had great puzzles and traversal. So absolutely, Zelda
It, like,
deserves to win this one.
yeah, probably.
You can make a
Yeah, give it
hover
to Zelda.
bike in Zelda, okay?
Yes, so it does make it possibly the best game ever.
Yeah. That makes it basically the second best game ever, right behind Jack 2.
So the only hoverbike games?
Well, Jack 2, you do get hover bikes that you can just steal. You get hover cars, which are very cool. But you also get a hover board that you can just pull out at any
Oh,
time whenever you want.
oh
And you
my
can do
god.
tricks on it. It's the best thing in any video game ever. Yeah.
Jack's almost as cool as Sonic plus hoverboard.
Yeah. But the hoverboarding in Jack is actually good, unlike the one in Sonic.
Sonic Riders is awesome. Get out of here.
No, it ain't. I've played that shit. It's ass.
It's really good art direction, though. It's Sonic Riders looks fucking
Okay, yeah, the
cool.
opening cinematic is dope as shit. Yes.
Yeah.
That doesn't make the game good. Anyway, Zelda deserves to win this, hands down. Next category. Best RPG. So the nominees are Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Liza P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield. Okay, so now here's the time of the question. Why the hell is Final Fantasy 16 nominated for Best RPG instead of Best Action Game?
Because people that are watching the Game Awards will be like, "Oh, Final Fantasy, that's their RPG game."
Yeah.
That's the entire reason.
Despite the fact that Final Fantasy 16 is literally not even an RPG, it's literally just a pure action game with some light RPG elements in the same way that the new God of Wars are. They're
Yeah.
not action RPGs. They're not action RPGs. They're just action games with some light RPG elements slapped on to make you think that they're action RPGs when they're really not.
Mm.
Now, besides that, all the games here are
Baldur's Gate
good
2
except
deserves
for
this hand down.
Starfield.
Poor Todd.
I think this is the only thing Starfield was nominated for,
I
and
feel
I think
bad
that's
for Starfield.
understandable.
He's
Liza
been
P
like
was
so
really,
many
really good. I heard Sea of Stars was good. Baldur's Gate 3 is obviously
Baldur's
really
Gate 3
good.
just deserves his hands down though for just adapting the entirety of Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition into a video game.
Very true. Yes.
It's just
I'd
as
say,
RPG as you could ever want something to be.
yeah. Even Liza P, which I do think is a good action RPG, was still fairly light in comparison to other action RPG Souls likes, you know,
Yeah.
on the RPG elements. Although it did have more RPG elements than Bloodborne did, so there is that. Baldur's Gate 3 deserves it. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't be mad if Liza P wins, just so I can have something, you know. If
Don't
Baldur's
think
Gate 3
Leslie
is gonna
is
win
gonna
Game of
win.
the Year, sometimes they like to
Yeah.
do that.
They have the other categories just for just to get some game of the year. We can throw it to something else for once.
Yeah, because I think they did that with Elden Ring, where Elden Ring only won like what 2 or 3 awards, and then God of
Same.
War won all the other ones.
Yeah, because they can't give everything. They gotta throw a bone to someone else.
Yeah,
Except for
just
when
so,
Last of Us
just
or Red Dead
so,
is there.
yeah, just
Those
so
get
they
to win
don't have the
everything.
Last of Us situation where it wins fucking everything.
And
You
everyone's just
know,
pissed off. See, if Baldur's Gate 3 ends up winning everything, I don't
the
think a lot of
thing
people will
is,
be mad like
yeah,
Last
the
of Us.
thing is, like, the reason why people were mad is because Last of Us didn't deserve to win a goddamn thing. You know, it
Yeah.
didn't. It didn't deserve to win a single award it got.
Yeah.
Um, Did
You're
Last
not
of
even
Us
saying
win
because Last
games
of
for
Us.
Impact? Please tell me it didn't.
No, it did not. There's no fucking.
It would be very funny if it did though.
I almost wanted to, but I don't think it was even nominated.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we can move on to the next category. Best fighting game. Okay,
Yep.
nominees are God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery, and Street Fighter 6.
Street Fighter
Um,
6 deserves this so much, it's not even funny.
yeah.
Like, it's
It's like,
generally one of the best like 2D fighters ever. It's just incredible
you
to
know, they
play.
had to scrape the bottom of the barrel. It really goes to show that there was, like, think about it like this. This is the thing, right? They have a nominee for Best Fighting Game, which is a very
Yeah.
specific genre, even covering all the subgenres of fighting games, like, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl with, um, Smash
Platform
clones,
fighters.
platform
Yeah,
fighters. That's the word I'm thinking
that's
of.
what
3D fighters like Tekken and Soul Calibur, right? Even if you
Mhm.
humble all of those together, there was still only like 3 fighting games that came out this year, and so they had to pick whatever these things
They
are, which
were
I've never heard of.
they were expecting Tekken 8 to come out this year, so they were like, "Oh, this is going to be such a finally we're going to have like a full deck," and it didn't happen.
It's just like they have this category every year, and so that's the thing. It's like, but I do think they have enough shooters that come out every year to fit 5 games.
Yes, more than enough.
Yeah.
We should get best boomer shooter. Can we get that as a category? We get like 20 of those a year.
Anyway, yeah, Street Fighter 6 deserves this one.
By far. Frugal Brawl is good though. Also Brawl 2, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Street Fighter 6, like holy shit.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's got Blanca in it.
Yeah. It's got Luke from the streets.
Oh, and they made him cool. Everyone hated him in 5, and he's so cool in 6.
Yeah. Wait, Luke was in 5?
Yes, he's the final DLC character.
Oh my god, I thought he was a
He's-
new character for 6.
I did too at first because I didn't play a lot of Eve till there's the end of it because like Akira was supposed to be the final character and then like they stealth dropped Luke as like the final character
Oh, that's so
like a year
weird.
before 6 comes out.
That's so
I think it's
weird
like a
because
totally different
like
time.
cuz like Luke's all the poster boy for 6, so I figured he was the new
Yeah.
character.
Yeah. That was all part of their evil plan. They were like, everyone's gonna hate him in 5, and then we're gonna like rehabilitate him in 6, and he's gonna be so cool.
So wait, what characters were added in 6 that were new? I know they added like a new villain who was like
Lily, JP, JP's the villain. Who else? Lily, JP. What's the other people's names?
there was the
Manon.
DJ guy, right?
DJ's for Street Fighter 2.
Oh,
It just
okay.
they completely redesigned him to actually be cool.
Oh, okay.
It might as well be,
Wait, 2? I don't
No one
remember him from
remembers.
2.
He's the extended cast for 2, like the
Oh, okay.
new challenges or whatever, with like Vega and stuff. But
Right. Okay.
he was in there. He's the guy who has like Mantis written on his pants or something.
I've never seen this guy before.
It's always-
You're telling me
but
this guy was in 2 the whole time? I've never seen him. 2 is like the
exactly.
most re-released Street Fighter game. How do I not know he
I know.
exists?
I didn't realize either. He's been in like almost every Street Fighter game, except for like he's like in all of them except 3.
This is
I've
crazy.
never noticed him all these years. I think half of 6 cast is new, and then the other half are like Street Fighter 2 returns,
Right, right.
except for Jury. Jury is Street Fighter 4, but they have to have Jury. She's like pretty much like one of the main mascot in Japan these days.
Yeah.
But man, 6 is so good. I can't wait till they add Akuma and he's hilariously busted. 6 is so good that I got into playing Guile. I never thought I'd enjoy playing Guile. That's how good 6 is.
Yeah. 6 is really good. With how you
It's
can
so
make your custom characters.
you can do with them, and then you can go into the lobbies and fight other people's custom characters.
And
But there's no
every
like
single
level.
one is just like it's just like a guy with like big muscle chest and and twig arms and legs.
Albert Wesker I ran into, who was super buff Albert Wesker, and he was fighting Chris Radfield, who was super buff Chris Redfield.
Yeah.
I was just spectating them in a lobby. It was beautiful.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody's did a match between Edison and Tesla.
Oh yeah, someone made a perfect Dr. Eggman.
Yeah. That's like such a funny idea for a custom fighting game character is just making Nikola Tesla and Heinz and like what's the other
Edison.
guy? Edison, yeah.
Edison.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you know for costumes for your custom characters, they officially added the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, $15 for each turtle.
Each one? They're all the same with
Yeah.
different colors. It couldn't
So
just be
for
like $15 for all of them?
No, this is Capcom DLC. $15 each. Pay off.
That's bullshit.
We still don't have character costumes.
That should be like
Just custom
$5 for all of them. Like what the fuck?
Apparently, I don't. They're overcharging for Street Fighter costumes. Apparently, Street Fighter V kept the company afloat just from costume sales during
That's
like
crazy.
early PS4 days, like before Resident Evil 7, like
Yeah.
completely turned around.
Yeah, Street Fighter V was like over monetized as fuck.
Yeah, oh, that whole like first few
It
years of the
had
game was like
ads in
holy
it.
shit. Yes. If you wore the ad costume, which would advertise things like on your character's back, it would give you more like currency.
Yeah. Ay ay ay. Anyway,
But it had Sakura.
yes. Anyway, we should probably move on to next.
Yeah, best family.
Anyway, best family. So the nominees are Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin Forest, Sonic Superstars, and Mario Bros. Wonder.
Pikmin 4 deserves better.
Yeah. That's another game that could have been nominated for Game of the Year that wasn't.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, Pikmin 4 was also nominated for another award. I think that's one's coming up next. But,
Okay.
I'd say Mario Bros. Wonder.
Mario Bros. Wonder is probably going to win something else, but yeah.
I think it's the only one of this list that was also nominated for Game of the Year, so I'm going to go on a limb and say that it's probably not going to win Game of the Year, but it's definitely going to win this.
Yeah. But Disney's Illusion Island looked really good. It looked like Rayman, but with Mickey Mouse. I'm kind of interested in picking it up sometime if it goes on sale. Because
yeah, it did look good from the trailers.
It has a good track record of platformers.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Sonic Superstars, but it wasn't that. It's not $60 good.
It was pretty disappointing, all things considered. But that's to be expected from Sonic games.
It's a totally standard game, but coming out the same month as probably the best like 2D Mario ever is like, oh, I feel so bad for it.
It is funny because it re-sparked the Mario versus Sonic rivalry, kind of, but it's just like... Yes. Yeah.
Sonic, I want to be on your side, but you make it so hard.
Party Animals was cool. It's just Gang Beasts again, but yeah, it's cool.
It's just Gang Beasts. Yeah, Mario Wonder's probably going to win this.
Yeah, because it was nominated for Game of the Year. So
yeah. Let's do Best Sim Strategy next. Skip to that.
Yeah, Best Sim and Strategy.
Advanced Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. City Skylines 2. Company of Heroes 3. Fire Emblem Engage Pikmin 4.
Pikmin 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fire Emblem Engage is probably fine. I don't know. Advanced Wars 1-2 is probably fine. I don't know.
I heard that Engage was fun gameplay-wise.
Yeah.
That's about it.
The secret with Fire Emblem is it never has good stories. Don't play Fire Emblem for the writing.
Three Houses was good if you played the right route. Did you play the correct route?
To play all the routes. I never finished it in general.
See, that's the problem. You picked the wrong route, so you didn't get engaged. You should have picked Fire Emblem Engage instead. Yeah.
City Skylines 2, all I know is that they fully modeled every resident's teeth, so the game is like a horrible frame rate. I'm not joking.
Why do game developers do this to themselves?
I know.
Yeah, you gotta be thinking. Wait, why am I modeling these teeth?
For characters that you can't even zoom in that far to see, you can't even see their like hair.
It's like
Why did they just reuse the models from the
it's
first
really
game?
funny. It's really funny. Like the City Skylines 2 devs will have the character models with modeled teeth, but we'll have Starfield. They won't even animate their characters during dialogue or cutscenes.
Different priorities, you know?
Different priorities.
Best sports / racing. Do you want to skip even saying what these are and just say Hot Wheels should win?
Yeah, give it to Hot Wheels. Fuck it.
Yeah. Best multiplayer. Sponsored by Discord.
So Mario Bros. Wonder had Dark Souls like multiplayer.
I only used it a few times. It was kind of neat. It's kind of you need it for the puzzle levels in Wonder that are
Yeah.
fucking bullshit. You need to be playing online to beat those. They're
Yeah.
almost impossible.
It's very Souls-like in that sense.
Yeah. Other than that, I played it offline because I felt like it would make it too easy with the standees. But
I kind of feel like
neat.
either Party Animals or Street Fighter 6.
I do think Baldur's Gate 3's multiplayer is really cool, where you can all just make choice. You can even play as the NPCs in your party, like other people can play on them and make the choices for them, which is pretty neat.
Yes.
So it's like you're actually just playing D&D online. That's neat.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Street Fighter 6, if it somehow gets snubbed for best fighting, better win this.
There's no way in hell it's getting snubbed for best fighting. That would be a travesty.
Mortal Kombat, it makes it's so big, even though nobody plays it actually. It's just like dude bros who play it, but it makes so much money.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. It might lose the Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
But Mortal Kombat wasn't nominated for best multiplayer, so
Ooh.
and for a fighting game, that's kind of a big deal, you know?
Apparently, multiplayer is really bad.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
Apparently, on different platforms, there's different frame advantages. So there's different optimal combos depending on what platform you play on.
Yeah.
Which is like
that's crazy.
Probably the first fighting game to ever do that. It's like holy shit.
I do feel like it's worth giving props to Party Animals here because that game is really fun.
I have not played Party Animals. It just kind of look like
it's
Gang
just
Beasts,
Gang Beasts. It's just Gang Beasts again, but
okay. Sure.
Arguably more polished, I'd say.
Yeah, the Gang Beasts was kind of going for a sort of alpha look from the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, next we got, but yeah, Street Fighter 6, sure.
Yes, no, best adaptation.
That multiplayer is so good. You know what's so cool in 6 is that when you get bodied and ranked, you can choose to then go into training mode against the character that you were just fighting, so you can practice against beating the crap out of them. It's great. That alone makes it best multiplayer.
Okay. Now for best adaptation, we got Castlevania Nocturne, Gran Turismo, The Last of Us, Super Mario Bros. Movie, and Twisted Metal. So The Last of Us is gonna win this.
Yeah, no shit. But why is Gran Turismo here? That's not an adaptation.
It's
a true story.
Has the title of a video game in the name. They're adapting Gran Turismo into real life. The real life adaptation.
Video game adaptation. Because it has video games in it.
Well, okay. I feel like the thing is, right? How would you adapt Gran Turismo, the video game, into a movie, right? You would go down to NASCAR and you would record a race.
For 3 hours. And that's the movie.
1.5 hours. Nobody's going to sit there for 3.
Yeah. It's a B-roll.
It's fine. It's That's just being a little semantic, honestly.
Yeah.
Of these, I think Last of Us is probably gonna win. Everybody was loving that.
Yeah.
And I honestly wouldn't even be mad. Um,
No, I heard it was a solid adaptation. I don't
Twisted
like
Metal seemed
kind
weird.
of looked bad. Straight
Yeah,
up,
I
it's
didn't
like
watch it. It looked kind of yeah. Mario Bros is really fun. I think it was a really good adaptation, but it definitely is being held back by the fact that it's Mario,
yeah, you can't. At the end of the day, there's not too much you can do with
right?
Mario.
It's like
Like,
Last of Us is cheating because it's an adaptation of The Last of Us, which is already a movie that was turned into a video game. And now they're just turning it back into a movie, you know? Because The Last of Us script was written to be a movie before it was a video game.
really
Everybody
funny.
knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of cheating. Castlevania Nocturne,
I've heard
I don't
mixed.
know.
Its animation
I've heard,
looks
yeah.
incredible. I've heard mixed though on its writing though.
Yeah, I've heard some mixed things. Everybody was loving The Last of Us show, though.
But
And
but where's Five Nights at Freddy's?
yeah, oh yeah, you're right. What the fuck? Why is Gran
It's probably
Turismo
good.
here and not
Man.
FNAF? What the fuck? Okay, now actually, no. Now that you mentioned that, that's some fucked up bullshit. That they put Twisted Metal and Gran Turismo here, but not fucking FNAF. What is this?
It's rigged against indies.
Now I'm mad. I mean, it wouldn't win anyway because Last of Us would win, but come on.
I still haven't seen the FNAF movie. I gotta go see that.
And me too. I don't even play FNAF,
It's
but I
kind of
still want to
bad,
go see
but
it.
really fun. As a FNAF adaptation, I hear it's very fun.
Yeah, that's the
It's,
thing. It's
it has,
like,
its
you know,
cameos alone look like the funniest thing in the history of film.
yeah. I mean, okay, that's the thing. It's like people, when they're going to a film adaptation of something, they want to see a good adaptation. They don't want to see a good movie, they want to see a good adaptation. Those are two separate things, you know?
Yeah,
They might align with each other at times, but they don't need to align in order to facilitate what people want.
yeah. I mean, I'd appreciate if more video game movies didn't suck, but it's been doing better lately.
The point is, they shouldn't be insulting to the source material,
Yeah,
right? If the source
except for the
material
original Mario
is
movie.
Yeah, if the source material is like a certain way, then it should stay that way, is the point. Even if it is detrimental to the core of the movie.
I'm giving an exception to the original Mario movie because that movie's pretty awesome, even though it has nothing to do with Mario. But also, it
Sure.
has a beam that turns people into monkeys, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I suppose. Anyway, you want to move on from best adaptation?
Sure.
Okay, what's the next category? Most anticipated game. Well, this is not a real category.
Kimball. This is
This is the most bullshit fucking award I've ever seen.
it used to be the Elden Ring Award.
Elden Ring won like 4 times in a row, didn't it?
I think it won twice.
Okay, fuck it. Give it to Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, even though Silk Song should be on this list.
Yeah. No, at this point, they're just like, they're not even going to give hope anymore to that.
It was supposed to come out this year. So,
Sure.
so next year it will come out, and so will Deltarune chapters 3 and 4. Did you hear? Deltarune chapter 5 got cut, basically. So now they're just releasing 3 and 4.
Well, I heard that it got cut down, but are we getting an? Is that the entire rest of the
It's
game?
still no, it's still happening.
Okay.
It's just that they're not waiting to finish 5 to release it. So what's gonna
That's what I
happen
heard.
now is they're gonna release 3 and 4, and then they'll probably release 5 on its own, and then they'll probably release 6 on its own, and then maybe 7 on its own. Maybe they might
Episodic
do
gaming.
them bundled together, but yeah, that's how it's gonna go.
Okay.
And the reason why Toby keeps gaming is just so it's like I don't want to release 3 on its own because it's not very story heavy. So
Okay.
yeah.
Fair enough.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on from this fake ass category.
I
Content
know
creator of
it's.
the year. I think I only know one of these people. Okay, I think I know
Uh,
two.
I know people make games in Iron Mouse, and I only know people make games because they did some big expose on Roblox and how that like exploits children.
I can believe that.
But I think Iron Mouse should win because that'd be the funniest.
Yeah, Iron Mouse would be the funniest. I've heard of the name Quackity,
Yeah.
but I don't know what they do.
I don't know these people. Just nominate Jerma every year. They should.
Yeah.
Come on. Want him to come up to the stage and accept an award doing his "look at me" pose.
Well, he did
Uh,
win Streamer of the Year at the Streamies.
yeah, they gave him an award that he broke 10 minutes later at the reception.
Yeah.
But give this to Iron Mouse, it'd be really funny.
Yeah. The security on this year's Game Awards is going to be really tight to make sure that they don't let the Bill Clinton in.
Do you think, I think that there is like a chance that they'll have him there as a joke, like to present an award.
No
How,
way.
I think there's at
No.
least a 1% chance.
No.
They brought back the fuck the Oscars guy who like came
That's
up
that's
drunk as
different.
shit.
That's totally different because he was actually invited to come on stage and talk, and he
No,
just
he
happened to
was
say "fuck the Oscars." But he
he
was
was
also like a
fucking
game developer who was also already friends with Jeff before the "fuck the Oscars" moment.
He only got to come back because he's friends with Jeff.
Yeah, and don't forget he won Game of the Year. They gave him Game of the Year the one year when nothing good came out.
That guy's a hero.
Yeah, yeah.
No, we're almost on the worst award of the night. Well, it's isn't the worst because team and coach are worse, but
I
we're
mean,
looking
do
the
we want
best
to even bother with
game.
any of the? I think all that's left is the esports ones. Do we even want to bother with any of them? I don't
We
care.
just flip through them. Just best
Uh,
esports game. I don't care. It's the same every year. Best
yeah.
esports
I mean,
athlete.
like, yeah, they put all the no, all the rest of them are just esports. I don't think that none of those
Did
count.
Faker do anything this year? I don't watch League.
I think they actually made it to finals, but the world finals haven't happened yet.
Okay.
That's just what I've heard. I don't watch
It's
it either.
always the same thing every year. Like, why do you even bother having best esports event?
Well,
Like,
it's just it's there. There's a reason why they put them at the bottom of the list. Okay.
yeah.
Um. Yeah, that's everything, isn't it?
I believe so.
So yeah, I guess overall thoughts. Pizza Tower kind of got
Um,
snubbed. Um, Bomber
Baldur's Gate 3
Cyberpunk
will
kind of
win
got
everything.
snubbed. Alan Wake 2 got nominated for a ton of shit too. It got nominated for fucking everything. Which is why I kind of feel
Which
like it does come off very like recency biased, you know?
bit,
Because who
but man,
remembers
it's
Alan Wake
fucking
1 at this point, you know?
good. I just recently played Alan Wake 1. 2 is a whole different beast. It's a very different game.
Fair enough.
It's like this is like I'm not really exaggerating when I say this might end up being like Silent Hill 2 good. Like I can't, say for sure, but it's good. It's the first time a survival
Okay.
horror game scared me in a pretty long time.
Well, that's cool then. Well,
Which is silly because Alan Wake 1 is not scary at all. The game's goofy. You run around with a flashlight and shoot guys.
yeah. But I feel like I've already I feel like we've said what we said, yeah? My chair
Game
squeaked there.
Awards.
Yes.
Ah,
I'm sure
can't wait to watch it and be miserable.
maybe the trailers will be good.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? I actually care about some of the awards this year. You know,
Yeah. This was a
they've
this
got
is
me
a
to care
this
about
is a
best
very
performance.
stacked year. This was probably
Yeah,
the best year since 2017, I'd say.
probably in 2017 was like the best year since
What,
like 2011.
2001? Was 2011
Yeah,
that good?
then had
We all
Dark
know the
Souls, I think.
real best year in gaming, of course, is 2001.
2001 and 1998.
Yeah.
And 86 was good because 86 had Zelda, Punch Out, Metroid, and Kid Icarus. But yeah, 2001 has what? Final Fantasy X, Metal Gear Solid 2, Silent Hill 2.
Shadow of the
Uh,
Colossus.
yeah, was Shadow of the 2001? I think it was a
No,
bit later. I
maybe
think
that
Ico
was.
was
I
2001.
think I'm thinking of Ico. It had Ico.
Yeah, I think Ico was 2001. Yeah.
Um,
Um,
Baldur's Gate: The Dark Alliance.
I haven't played. That's a PS2 one. I played
That's the
sometimes.
PS2 one. I'm pretty sure that's the action RPG one.
Yeah, it's a bit more action focused.
Yeah. Um, Devil May Cry, the original.
Yeah, I think Luigi's Mansion is 2001.
Yeah, because 2001 was
Yeah,
like the launch of the both the PS2 and the GameCube, right?
yeah. So it's the most stacked year ever.
Yeah. And what else came out in 2001? Smash Bros. Melee, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's a good year. Oh, GTA 3 was 2001. I'm just looking.
Oh yeah, GTA 3 and Jak 1, Jak and Daxter 1.
Max Payne, Super Monkey Ball, Animal Crossing, Wario Land
Was the
4.
first Ratchet and Clank 2001 or was that 2002?
I think it was a bit later. Ratchet and Clank 1. I'm gonna double check. Yeah, 2002, Ratchet and Clank.
Okay. Yeah, cuz I knew it was one or the other. Um
It was a good ass year.
yeah.
And this year was good ass too.
When did Kingdom Hearts come
Oh,
out?
Sonic Adventure 2, the greatest game ever, was 2001.
I think Kingdom Hearts was
A little bit later. Was
it 2003? Let me see. It was 2002.
okay.
Yeah, 2001 and 2002, back to back were like a crazy
It's early
stack.
PS2. It's the best thing ever.
Oh my god, it was so good. Dark Cloud 1, I think that was
Ooh.
2001.
I think yeah, that was early PS2 because that game
Mhm.
looks like a
It's very early PS2. Yeah,
man. Video
so good.
games.
We really have gone so downhill since then.
It's been a great year.
Yeah. No, it's just funny. It's just like thinking me like, oh yeah, this year's really stacked. But then you look back at 2001 and it's like, oh man, it really doesn't even hold
Well,
up, does it?
it was the PS2. That was cheating.
Yeah, it's so good. The
That was
greatest
back when you could
year
develop
ever.
standard definition games.
Oh,
You
don't forget
know,
about
when it,
Metal Gear Solid 2.
yeah, with Raiden.
Yeah.
Raiden, squeeze my hog.
They had to remove the Twin Towers from the game when they
Uh,
were making it.
yep. But don't worry, they kept the dual katanas named Democrats and Republican. Awesome game. But yeah, I think we should wrap up.
Yep. Thanks for listening to the end. Wow, that was
Yep.
awesome.
Sure,
What are
sure
your
was, yeah.
opinions on the Game Award nominees? You can leave a comment.
Oh, I thought you were asking me.
No, I already know yours.
Yeah, we talked for like 2 hours.
Yeah, it was only an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that means everybody else, you better tell us yours in the comments.
yeah,
We already spilled our guts, so you
yeah.
spill yours.
Bye bye.
Adios.